So we had a pretty big rainstorm last night. Apparently Dottie just lives in the attic now. We did not know that it was gonna be like as big of rain. We lost a tree, which is pretty sad. Our little maples. But I also left all the doors open, so my milk room is all wet, and I think the girls' barn is all wet. I looked in the middle of the night when it was thundering really badly, and like I couldn't see any of them. They're all shoved in the corners. I do need to walk around a bit this morning. I moved the nets yesterday and it did not work the way that I wanted, so now I have to kind of move them again, which is okay. I just need them to have some fresh grass. Not ideal for my floor to be this wet, which means their floor is very wet. Not good. Good morning. Is it very wet? Hi, Peter Parker. Not too bad. Yeah, are you ready for some breakfast? Ready for some breakfast? Yeah. Golly. It is a little bit later than I would normally get out here on the weekend. I guess it's like 9. Let's get them some breakfast. Get going. So something I am gonna do today is get the boys off that top, the boys and the pigs off that top pasture. So we're gonna move them down this morning while we feed them. Just gonna be a little bit tricky. So what we'll do is put the pig food in the boys' bowls and then bring the boys' bowls down, the pig bowls down for the boys. But that was, sorry, there's a lot of bees and peas in that. So we're gonna get them off that top pasture so that when I'm ready to go in and fix that house, they have, number one, haven't broken it anymore, and I can get in there without them under my feet, and the grass needs a big break. The girls aren't gonna wanna come out this morning. I did mow myself a path because I come in every morning, my legs are covered in grass. Now with working, that's just less than ideal. Toonie, stop. You're not starved. You're not, come on. Right here. Bowl for pigs. Water out. So this pen's just gonna be empty, probably until the end of summer, honestly. It needs to grow up and the house needs to be fixed. So I was gonna show you guys, Pork Chop really blew this whole house out. What we learned to just create himself a nice window is that the brad nails just don't hold it. This did have some screws in it, but apparently not long enough screws. So what I'll do is go back, put the shiplap up with screws so it'll get screwed in to the center stud and to these 2 studs, and he won't be able to pop it out. I was hesitant to move them off this pasture while it was still so hot because it has the best shade. There's some shade here that they can all lay in that back. Now that the highest it's gonna be is like 90. And the humidity for the most part is over, like the bad humidity. And they've got these 2 big pens. So the other thing is, like, Pork Chop kind of gets up there and he won't come down sometimes, and there's no reason to do that. It's all this grass to eat. Now I have a little bugger that's following me, so we gotta be a little bit fast. We're gonna leave the scoops. Maybe that'll distract him while I close gates real quick. escaped beanos, bean machines. Say no escaped bean machines. Hello, bean machine. Hello. Just got mud on my shirt. That was not wise. Hello. I know it took Mom a minute, didn't it? So you're slow. There's slow, Mom. Why are you slow? Here we go. I've got them all right here. So he's off lock. They have just quit like going after him, which is nice. They kind of lower their head, but they're not like slamming him anymore. There you go. See, like there's kind of a little love tap, but he's obviously still a little bit anxious. Yeah, I know it's wet, but it's not gonna rain anymore. So you can come out here. Put our tools on the inside of the fence. So if you've only been with us since we moved here, which was like 2 years ago this Christmas, so we've been here about 18 months. We've owned this place almost 2 years. The place that we came from had a lot of built-in housing, so there were 2 big barns, and there was actually like a little goat shed on the property. So we did not build a ton of housing over there. We did build a pig house out of an old chicken coop. So we took a chicken coop basically and like walled it in more to build a house for the pigs over there. And that was kind of our first shelter that we ever built. When we moved here, we had to build all the shelters. And so we built the dog house and these 2 smaller houses, one for the goats, one for the pigs. One's designed to be more of a winter pig house. One is designed to just be like a goat shed. In the summer, they all prefer the goat shed, and in the winter, the pigs definitely prefer the house that was specifically designed for them. Pigs have a much harder time with temperature regulation than goats do. So goats, as long as they're out of the wind, are like, they're completely fine. Out of the wind, out of the element. So basically just a wind block with a roof on it, they're happy. Pigs need to like burrow up, and so they always have straw and bedding and that kind of thing. And in the summer they have their pools because they don't sweat. And she's gonna chase me, which is the reason. Oh, I was hoping that like with breakfast they'd be distracted enough. But it's another reason to kick them out while I'm working on this. Keep them out of my hair. Because they're curious. And they think anything that you have in your hands is food. Sorry. Yeah, Mom's kicking you out. Didn't need any helpers. Oh, no helpers. No helpers. Just like, but Mom, I'm a good helper. Yeah, I know. No helpers. I have absolutely fixed the other one and this one before with them in here. But it just makes everything go slower. And you have to be careful because they will like taste everything. I don't need them to eat screws. That's bad. So these were built basically out of 2x4s and shiplap and then sealed, and then we have some trim pieces. What happens is they're kind of on a hill and pork chop leans against this wall butt first, and they're just put in here with brad nails, like with a nail gun, as they just pop out. So what I'm gonna do is reinforce them with some screws today, and that's really all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna screw the boards into the 2x4s with some 2-inch screws. What happened last time is I used little short screws, and I don't think they actually made it into the wood. So I came out here the other day and there was just pig butt. He's not doing it on purpose, but it does create some problems. So I'm gonna get this. Shouldn't take me more than like 10 or 15 minutes. The problem will be I forgot to bring a hammer. I'll have to use a rock to knock all the brad nails down. So it's super simple if you look at just the construction This is some old roof tin that we had when we replaced our roof at the other place. It's just metal roof. Jeremy also wanted the houses to look like cute and match because now we kind of live in a nicer area. So before it didn't matter, like all our neighbors' stuff looked junky. But here we have to kind of keep things. We have some covenants, they're very basic. Like if you build a barn or a shed or an addition to your house, it needs to match. And you need to not be a nuisance. He kind of took that as everything needs to look clean and put together. It's also a second reason why our houses are all tucked up in the trees. You can't see these houses from the street. You can obviously see our fence, you can see the animals. We try to keep everything looking pretty nice. And so at the end of the season, we'll kind of knock the grass down. We don't let it get too tall. All of those things to kind of keep up, to make the neighborhood look nice and not junky because you guys live here. Because we want to be able to keep them, and we don't want the neighbors to be like, you gotta get rid of your animals because your place is a mess. Not the goal. Okay, so let's get this done. So we're all put back together. What I realized was apparently last time the bottom board and the trim were the only thing that had come out, and I had used, you can kind of see, only like a 1-inch screw, 1 1/4 inch screw. So it was only going through the trim and the shiplap and not all the way into the stud. So now from like this board down, there's at least 1 2-inch, there's a 2-inch screw or multiple into every stud for all the shiplap boards, and then these 2-inch screws that go all the way through the shiplap, the trim into the stud. So we should be able to lean up against it and not just pop it out. They chewed on my clothes for a while. While I did that, pick up our power tools and my battery was out, so the first battery that I got was not fully charged. Pork chop doesn't need to come in here. Oh, no, no pork chops allowed. No pork chops allowed. Did you want to go inspect Mom's handiwork? Is that your problem? My pork chop. There we go. Did you want to go inspect how good of a job Mom did? Mom did a good job. Peter Parker is standing inside the barn where it's dry instead of outside the barn. So I'm gonna get out like a big boy. You need to get out here and drink some grass. Eat some grass, not drink it, eat it. Your little belly's empty. All you guys need to get out. Ready to come out? are we of Mr. Peter Parker? So we are officially a week in. He has been here 1 week. Hi, Nuggy. Do you feel neglected because there's a new baby? Mama could never neglect her nugget. She couldn't. No, it's her cha-cha. He's a good girl. Hi, friends. So good. Comes in and out with everyone. Really learning the routines. It would just be once he can sleep in the barn at night by himself. That will be the true thing, so I don't have to constantly put him in a little kennel. He's become more curious. He's inspecting things, which means he kind of feels safe in his environment more and more. Still very cuddly, very sweet, but not looking for me constantly. So not crying and waiting on me. Yesterday when I moved these nets, he did not stay under my feet. This is fantastic. Not that, but just the fact that they are playing. This is just a dominance assertion. Daisy, so she doesn't like him doing that. It is very typical of babies. They will do this. She'll do it to him, he'll do it to her. What I think is funny, they're just playing. This is just play. And she's headbutting him, he's headbutting her, he's mounting. This is very typical. Now the mama goats are all gonna protect her, because she's already part of the herd, but like 4 or 5 days ago, they would have chased him all the way back up to the barn. Some of you guys did ask if, now that we had him, does that mean we weren't gonna keep Chai? The two decisions are separate. This is his forever home. I knew that when I took him. So this is not a get him accustomed to living with goats, rehab him and get him into a different home. No, when I agreed to take him, that meant he was gonna stay here forever. Or unless his mom ever has a goat farm and she wants him back, which I'm cool with. This is his forever home. Chai is a totally different decision. So Chai was kept because she was not growing out as well as I would like. Girlfriend has hit a growth spurt. She's doing fantastic. I don't need another doe. I don't want a doe younger. So if she does stay, she'll just probably stay as more of a pet than a breeding doe. But we'll see. I still haven't really decided. I don't really have any there's not a rush to get rid of her. I guess that's the thing, is there's no rush to sell her. We're gonna go enjoy the rest of our Sunday. And they'll chill out, especially once I leave. So you're doing good, Mom. Trying to be friends.